Jazz, and they really hung around and put themselves in a position to compete and be right there in the fourth quarter. In fact, they opened up the fourth quarter on a 7-0 run and cut the lead to two with just about 11 minutes remaining in the game, 95-93 at that point. And then the offense, which I warned you about in the pregame, the Trailblazers dead last in the league right now in offensive efficiency and nearly dead last in three-point shooting. And it was the offense that cost them tonight. The defensive effort was there, but the Blazers in that second half could not make shots. It was very, very paltry. In fact, they scored just 13 points in the fourth quarter. They went nearly 6 minutes of game time without a field goal in that fourth quarter. And the total shooting numbers in that second half were dreadful. The Trailblazers connected on just 15 of their 45 shots in the second half, including just 4 of 19 from three-point range. And the result was a Utah victory, 115-99. I'm Chad Doing. That's Chris Burkhardt. And this is the fifth quarter here in your home of the Blazers, 620 Rip City Radio. Make sure if you're listening on radio, you can join us via YouTube. We are streaming all of our live shows now. Go to youtube.com and pull up our homepage, Rip City Radio 620. And you can click and subscribe on the page and be able to join the live stream here in studio and take part in the YouTube group chat. But once again, happy with the effort tonight. You know, the Trailblazers are shorthanded with a number of different guys out of the lineup, but I like the way that they're competing. I like the way they're approaching the games, and they're putting themselves in a position with their hard play to have an opportunity to overcome some of the, obstacles that they have right now with injuries and a lack of options on the offensive end. The good news for Portland tonight, Jeremy Grant continuing to be aggressive and to really assert himself on the offensive end the way that Chauncey Billups has asked. He's implored him to be more of a ball hog. And tonight, the Trailblazers with 26 points from Jeremy Grant on 10 of 17 shooting, 3 of 6 from downtown. DeAndre Ayton was superb, 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists on 10 of 17 shooting. I really like what the Blazers are getting from DeAndre Ayton. Efficient, smart basketball, and production, both in points and rebounds. Shaedon Sharpe tonight, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists in over 40 minutes of action. He was a little bit better with the turnovers tonight with just 3. He had 7 on Sunday against the Lakers, but he had a poor shooting night. 4 of 16 from the field for Shaedon. He was only 2 of 10 from downtown, able to connect on 7 of 10 from the foul line. So Shaedon Sharpe still, learning on the job. I like the way he was able to pepper the stat sheet, even on a night when he wasn't shooting the basketball well. But you can see the growth. He was a little more patient tonight, not as reckless. The Trailblazers tonight did have turnover issues, and I mentioned that before the game. It'd be nice if they could secure the basketball a little bit more, but they turned it over 17 times, allowing the Jazz to score 23 points. Conversely, the Jazz, I think they went the first 15 minutes of the game tonight without a turnover. They had just 13 on the night, and the Blazers able to get 11 points off of that. So Utah plus 12 in points off of turnovers, which was one of the big edges for Utah tonight. The shooting numbers, like I mentioned, for Portland, 42% on the night, but a horrific 15 of 45 in the second half. They connected on 11 of 35 overall from downtown, 7 of 16 from 3 in the first half, 4 of 19 from downtown in that second half, and the Blazers just 14 of 20 from the foul line. Skylar Mays tonight, 6 points and 10 assists on 3 of 8 shooting. He played 31 minutes, and off the bench, one of the more impressive players tonight for your Portland Trailblazers. They got 12 points, 8 boards on 5 of 7 shooting from Jabari Walker. He plays hard. He does what the coaches want him to do. I like the energy he brings to the game. I applaud Jabari Walker because he's made significant strides from his rookie season into this year, and that's because he worked his tail off during the course of the summertime. So I want to give him props because he looks good. And he's making a positive impact when he hits the floor. Matisse Thybulle was 6 points off the bench, and they also got 9 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, and good all-around play from Tamani Kamara. But most importantly, the defensive effort was there. The defensive effort was there, and the consistency in which they're willing to work and compete on that end of the floor. It's impressive. So I credit Chauncey Billups for the guy's willingness to defend and get after it. For the Utah Jazz tonight, Jordan Clarkson, game high 30 points on 13 of 19 shooting. I've always liked his game and the way he works. 21 points, 9 rebounds from Lauri Markkanen. My biggest takeaway from Lauri is that guy sporting a perm? Good basketball player, good shooter, quick release. He's got a good all-around game. His hair is a little bit John Koncak-like. Remember John Koncak back in the day with the Atlanta Hawks? I don't know. I thought he might be rocking a perm. I'm not sure what's going on there. They got 14 points, 10 rebounds from John Collins, and Keontae George with 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists on 4 of 9 shooting. Off the bench, Kelly Olynyk, 12 points, 12 boards, and Colin Sexton, 13 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. And that is it. The Blazers are now 1-1 in tournament play, and they don't get any rest. They fly back home to Portland and will take on the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow night at Moda Center. Tip-off will be at 7, and we'll have game day starting at 4:30. Okay, we'll keep things rolling here on fifth quarter. Jazz over the Blazers tonight, 115-99. We'll come back, and Chris will share his thoughts on what he saw tonight, and we will keep cruising. But once again, good effort, good defense. I like what I'm seeing from this young group, especially with a lot of guys out of the lineup and a lot of youngsters playing, and good leadership provided by the vets, Jeremy Grant and DeAndre Ayton. 115-99 the final. Fifth quarter, Chad Doing and Chris Burkhardt here on 620 Rip City Radio. All right, fifth quarter, where the Utah Jazz tonight topped the Trailblazers 115-99. And the Blazers played well. They competed, some good defensive efforts, good individual performances, but the offense did them in that second half, especially the fourth quarter where they put up just 13 points and connected on just 15 of their 45 shots in the second half. It does not take a genius to figure out that's not very good. You got to be better than that in the fourth quarter if you want to isolate just the quarter. The Trailblazers in the fourth, 14 of 23 from the field and just 1 of 11 from downtown. And it's not like all those shots were contested. They just didn't make shots. What's the saying in the NBA? It's a make or miss league. And tonight the Blazers missed a ton of shots. And my guess would be you're going to have many nights like this, especially without Anthony Simons. They just don't have a lot of guys they can lean on to make shots consistently. That's it. They don't have shooters. So it's okay. This is the process. The key is, are they responding to the way Chauncey Billups wants them to play? Are they competing defensively? Are they playing hard? And I think you can answer yes to all of those things. And on some nights, those guys who normally don't make shots will make shots and they'll have a chance to win. But you just can't go 17% from the field in the fourth quarter and expect to win many NBA games. That is brutal. Brutal. 13 points on 4 of 23 shooting. 5 minutes plus without a field goal. And that 13-0 run was the icer for the Utah Jazz. Blazers opened up the quarter on a 7-0 run. They cut the lead to 2, 95-93 at that point. 13-0 burst by the Jazz, 108-93. Game over. That's how that went down. All right, there you go. Bad offense, but there'll be more nights like that. But again, how do they compete? Are they growing? What are the youngsters doing? Are they responding to Coach Billups? Those are the most important things to ask. Because overall, with the effort tonight, I'm happy. All right, Chris, what do you think? 15 of 45 in the second half from the floor, 4 of 19 from downtown, and in the fourth quarter, 13 points on 4 of 23 shooting, including an abysmal 1 for 11 from downtown. I mean, outside of the poor shooting, I was happy with the effort. Multiple guys stepping up, playing with energy, playing defense. I've got no issue with that. I like it.
Yeah, I like the effort as well. What I don't like is when you, being a seasoned pro that you are, steal the mic and then steal my talking points. Because my point after watching this game was kind of the same exact thing that you saw. And that was if they would have had Ant and guys like Malcolm Brogdon in there, right? The guys that can shoot them out of these holes and keep those games close, then they might have stood a chance. Because I think at the end of that game, when Utah really pulled away, it was just lack of shooters. Jeremy Grant's a shooter, right? Yeah. And he's having a great start to the season. But when you take Ant out of that lineup, you take a scorer and Brogdon out of that lineup, come on, Skylar Mays and Bouye aren't getting you through those games in clutch moments yet. So, yeah, I just thought this game, good effort, but at the end just came down to having a lack of shooters on that roster at this moment.
Yeah, pretty much. That was that. That was that. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. And that's the way it's going to be right now because they're leaning on guys to play big minutes that are not accustomed to playing big minutes. They don't have a lot of guys who can shoot the basketball, and that's just going to create issues from time to time. That's how it's going to be. You've got Jeremy Grant. He's effective. DeAndre Ayton, Shaedon Sharpe should be at times, but outside of that, where are your options going to be? It's not Jabari Walker. It's not Tamani Kamara. It's not Matisse Thybulle. So the Blazers, again, what did I look for tonight? They were sloppy with the basketball. They got to be better than that. But again, that's going to happen when you have new guys, young guys, and a patchwork lineup. But it's going to be a struggle like this with the offense until they start to get some of their pieces back. It is what it is.
Here's a question I have for you.
Yep.
Now, I know that they need to develop, and I know you need to get run, but does any part of you worry a little bit that Shea's been running 40 minutes a night out there, leading the league in minutes played?
It's insane. But it's a good learning experience for him because this is what it takes to be a pro. Sometimes you're going to be asked to do more than what you're accustomed to. And he's young. And he's a good athlete. So I have no issue with it. part of the process of becoming a pro is learning how to play through certain issues, fatigue, learning how to bounce back. I'll tell you what, if he doesn't know how to take care of his body, he's going to learn quickly. Rest, nutrition, hydration, all of those things. And I just like the fact that he's out there playing and making decisions, and the vets are showing trust in him. I'm excited about that.
I say, well, I don't think he's playing like a sophomore player right now. Like he's playing very, very well.
All right, fifth quarter, the Jazz over the Trailblazers tonight, 115-99. Blazers back home tomorrow to take on the Cavs. 7 o'clock tip from Moto with Game Day starting at 4:30. Let's take a look around the association.
It's time for a Blazers Game Day scoreboard report, powered by Columbia Heating and Cooling, raising your expectations of comfort.
All right, one game still in action. Actually, two. The Clippers are in Denver right now, and they lead 89-88. That game is on TNT. Paul George with 25 points. Nikola Jokic so far near triple-double, 24 points, 13 boards, 8 assists. Fourth quarter just starting down in San Francisco. The Warriors on top of the Timberwolves, 83-76.
How about that one? Did you see that?
Saw a little fight action.
In like the first 30 seconds.
Draymond Green choking out Rudy Gobert. I think there were 3 suspensions. 2 guys for the Warriors, Draymond and Clay. I like it.
It's got to be some sort of record. We're like 10 games into the season. Draymond has been ejected twice.
Halftime in Los Angeles. The Lakers lead the Grizzlies 74-51. Anthony Davis so far 15 points, 8 boards, and 3 blocks. Finals from earlier today. Heat over the Hornets 111-105. Miami now 7-4 in the year. Jimmy Butler with 32 points. Hawks topped the Pistons in Detroit and improved to 6-4, 126-120. Dejounte Murray 32 points, 10 assists, 3 steals. The Pacers over the Sixers in Philadelphia 132-126. Tyrese Halliburton 33 points, 15 assists, 7 rebounds. Indiana now 7-4. Nets over the Magic 124-104. They improved to 6-5. Spencer Dinwiddie 29 points and 9 assists. In Oklahoma City, the Thunder rout the Spurs 123-87. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 28 points, 6 boards, 7 steals. The Thunder now 7-4. The Pelicans top the Mavericks in New Orleans 131-110. Brandon Ingram 25 points, 9 boards, 7 assists. And your final in Utah tonight, the Jazz over your Portland Trailblazers 115-99. Jordan Clarkson with a game-high 30 points. All right, we'll keep things rolling here on the fifth quarter. Your final score, Jazz over the Blazers 115-99. And they're back home tomorrow. The Cavaliers will be in town. 7 o'clock tip from Motor Center with Game Day starting at 4:30.
Liberty Coin and Currency presents the fifth quarter shot of the night. Liberty Coin and Currency, the place to buy and sell your gold, silver, jewelry, and coins.
Ran to the corner for Sharp. Defended by Sexton. Crossover stops. Feeds eight, and he slams it in the face of John Collins for two. Back to a 4-point game.
Who said Ayton can't catch in traffic and finish?
All right, fifth quarter where the Blazers fall in Utah tonight at the Delta Center, 115-99. And Burkhardt, you and I had the same experience. I kept hearing it referred to as the Delta Center. I thought, wait, someone's making a mistake here. They changed the name from Delta Center to the Vivint Home something Arena.
The Vivint Smart Home Arena.
Yes. And now they're calling it Delta Center. So I was like, that's wrong. So I looked it up, and sure enough, it got changed back to the Delta Center.
Now that Blazer fan has hope out here that contracts can run out and you can rename it the Rose Garden again.
If the contract came up and they did not have a new sponsor and they didn't name it back to the Rose Garden, people would go crazy. They were bitter when they got a arena sponsorship, which is good for the team.
Dude, I know plenty of Blazer fans who still only refer to it as the Rose Garden.
The RG, the Rose Garden, Moda. Yeah. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. I know the arena, no matter what you call it. I know where it's at. I've been there plenty of times, and I like it. I'm okay with that.
Just they haven't sold the naming rights to the Rose Quarter yet, so you can still bank on that one, right?
It is impressive that Chauncey Billups is getting the guys to play this hard, even though they're up against it, and they're going to be hard-pressed to win games. I think that says something about the character of the group they got. I like it. I'm starting to sound like such a softie, but that's how I feel.
Slipping at your old age.
I've got nothing to be bitter about.
Well, no, you're slipping when this is how you talk about the Denver Broncos. Like, yeah, they lost, but gosh, I just really liked their fight last night.
It took about 24 hours, but I finally came off the high of that Bronco victory on Monday Night Football. Gosh, it was so delicious.
Final 30 seconds of that game were a roller coaster of emotions if you were a fan.
When he missed the field goal, my heart sank. And then I heard Joe Buck say, there's flags. And I saw the guy do the deal for 12 men on the field. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then I was gripping because I'm like, don't miss it again, you idiot.
Hey, McClain, the guest you had on today, said it best. He's like, I'm surprised they didn't fire their special teams coordinator. Like, did they really lose that game because of Ken Dorsey, or did they lose their game because in a pivotal moment, their special teams coordinator allowed 12 men on the field?
I'll tell you what, Jeremy Grant's playing well right now. He started the season a little bit slow, but he's really stepped his game up, Burkhardt. Aggressive, looking for opportunities, and he's getting to his spots and making shots. 10 of 17 from the floor tonight, 3 of 6 from downtown, 26 points. And he's got to be that guy. I think it's cool that he has responded to the request from Chauncey Billups, because it is out of his character a bit to, try to force his shots or force himself in a position where he's going to take more shots.
It is. I think that's why everyone kind of didn't like the trade at first when it happened, because he's not the alpha guy, right? He doesn't need to be the number one guy. He's kind of forced into that situation right now, but he's playing well, man, and the shots are falling. It's just unfortunate that on a night like tonight, Shea had a pretty bad shooting night, and no one else around the team has a jump shot to speak of that they can hit consistently and be a threat in that aspect, but he's still going out there and getting his, which is nice to see.
All right, let's check in with Blazers coach Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, DA was great, man. He was great. He was aggressive all night. Deals they get. So I thought they won all the hustle stats all day, and for us, that's just kind of what we do. That's the only way we can compete. Being so hurt up, we got to be able to win this hustle game, and we didn't win it tonight. And they did. You got to give them a lot of credit. They did it. I mean, shoot, they get 16 offensive rebounds. That's what they do. And we knew that, and we tried to prepare for it, and shoot, they get 7 in the first quarter. So that was tough. But they did what they had to do. You got to give them credit. We just didn't play well enough.
What did you make of that fourth quarter? You guys seemingly couldn't buy a basket.
Yeah, we were stuck on 93 for I don't know how long. But, you know, I thought we created some decent shots. Not great, but decent. But just couldn't make. We seem to have those type of stretches, unfortunately. But, again, you know, it's a lot of times difficult when you don't, you know, we missing so many guys that create so much action for us. It's just tough.
What do you think of DeAndre's?
Yeah, Da was great, man. He was great. He was aggressive all night. We made a concerted effort to try to get him the ball, and he really did. He was aggressive. He did a really good job. I thought he was good on both ends of the floor.
Did you get out of Tamani what you hoped to?
Yeah, I thought Tua was good. Tua is going to be who he's going to be no matter if he's starting or not. He's going to be the same guy. You know, he's going to scrap, he's going to claw, he's going to rebound, he's going to protect the rim a little. Yeah, he's going to always be who he is.
All right, there you go. Chauncey Billups, his brief thoughts following the Blazers' 115-99 loss. He made the point there about the hustle plays, the hustle points. The Jazz tonight, 16 offensive rebounds, and they had a solid edge, 20-12 in second chance points, and also a 20-9 edge in fast break points. And the turnovers that you were able to force, 17 Trailblazer turnovers, which led to 23 points. We'll come back on fifth quarter. Chad doing Chris Burkhardt with you, and we'll give you what's the scoot, and then we'll let you know what's going down tomorrow. 115-99 the final tonight at the Delta Center. Not the Vivint Smart Home Arena, but Delta Center again. Blazers and Cavs tomorrow at 7 from Moda Center. All right, fifth quarter chat doing Chris Burkhardt with you. Make sure you go to youtube.com, go to our homepage, Rip City Radio 620. All of our local shows are live streamed now. You can join us on Blazer Game Day or fifth quarter. Tomorrow, Game Day will start at 4:30 with Chris and I. Tip off with the Blazers and Cavs from Moda at 7 o'clock. All right, let's get to What's the Scoop?
The best performing team requires the best workstations. What's the Scoot is brought to you by Office Furniture Reborn. Need desks, better office chairs, or just the right file cabinet? Office Furniture Reborn has a huge selection of colors and sizes to choose from. So drop by Office Furniture Reborn's huge showroom just off Pacific Highway in 217 or visit www.officefurniturereborn.com.
All right, so the story on Scoot, for those of you that don't know, nothing too serious. It's a bone bruise, and he's going to be out somewhere between 2 to 3 weeks, somewhere in that area, and then he'll make his return. The bigger issue right now is it's not just Scoot, but Malcolm Brogdon with a slight hamstring strain. So you got 2 point guards out, which means Skylar Mays, who's playing good basketball, is playing a larger role than what he anticipated. He just had his two-way deal converted to a full NBA contract. He finished the game tonight with 6 points and 10 assists. All right, any final thoughts for you, Burkhardt?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a lot. The Blazers get to turn around and do this again tomorrow. Thanks to Travis and Curtis, I totally thought we were in a time machine. I would spaced. I did not realize they changed it back to the Delta Center. I was like, dude, Malone and Stockton ain't playing. Why are we calling it the Delta Center? But Burkhardt was wrong.
Yeah. Well, Chad's been wrong on many occasions, too. All right, the big story, what you need to remember for tomorrow when you're thinking about this game, number one, poor shooting. The Trailblazers just 15 of 45 from the field in the second half, including 4 of 19 from downtown. They scored just 13 points in the fourth quarter, went over 5 minutes without a field goal during a Jazz 13-0 run, which put the game away and put them up 108-93. The Blazers also sloppy with the basketball, 17 turnovers, and the Jazz able to grab 16 offensive rebounds. They had an edge in both fast break points and a 20-12 edge in second chance points, and that is what did the Trailblazers in. With their offense being what it is and the lack of shooting that they have right now, they're not going to be good enough to overcome, that type of turnover issues like we saw tonight, and an inability to control the glass. When you're not shooting the ball well, you got to find other ways to impact the game. Their defense was there; they gave a good effort, but the sloppiness with the turnovers, 17 of them, the inability to protect the glass, it did them in because on nights when they're not going to shoot well, and remember they're going to have many nights where they're not going to shoot the ball well. They're last in the league in offensive efficiency and almost last in three-point shooting. They got to rely on other things. That's defense. That's protecting the basketball. That's rebounding. They've got to fight, scratch, and claw and find other ways to do it. The good thing is the players obviously are listening to their coach. They're playing hard. They're competing defensively. And the young guys who are being called upon to play a much larger role than what they thought going into the season so far have answered the call. So early on, regardless of their record, which is now 3-7, I like what I see. I like the effort. That's going to do it for us. Join us tomorrow, Rip City Drive, 3 to 4:30. Game day at 4:30. Chris and I back together again. Tip off with the Cavaliers at 7, and we'll have the fifth quarter following the game. Justin Myers will have Rip City Mornings tomorrow at 6, right here on your home of the Blazers, 620 Rip City Radio. For Chris Burkhardt, I'm Chad Doing. Have a good night.